Frank, number 35, is coming into the game. Had an unhappy year a year ago with the Steelers. He expected to be a starter along with Franco Harris. He had impressed everybody in the prior year out of Delaware State. Kind of a stiff-legged but very powerful runner. Going out of there right now. And this year he didn't intend even to play football. That's what I meant when I said earlier it remains to be seen if he's emotionally up as well as physically conditioned for the coming season. The Jets think they've turned him around.
Namath went all the way in the first half, is still with us. And there now is Bob Gresham, number 36, replacing Davis. Namath for Barkham, deep. And he went out of bounds. He cannot come back in and catch it. He will not even debate it. He cannot come back onto the playing field.
Too bad he had another big bomb.
And little Pat Fisher matched up, giving away 7 inches in height. Plays him tight.
He gave Pat Fisher a good move, too.
There's the one little bump you're allowed. Pat Fisher has been around for 15 years, pushing against the Redskins. And an illegal pass. That was Barkham going out of bounds. Both the calls.
I agree.
Excuse me, Howard.
I'm sorry, Giff. I was just going to say I agree with you, Alex. It's just fun to see a guy who can still get away with the big bomb.
Well, you never hardly see it anymore. Namath, of course, has displayed it tonight all over the field. It's terrific. I mean, he woke me up. I'm up, Frank.
I'm trying to get in. Offsetting penalties. First and 15. Ball up to 49. Davis back in. He can run. He has good speed for a big man. Down to the 40-yard line. Gain of 10. Hit there by Bryant Salter.
That could only be won by number 80 of the Redskins, Roy Jefferson. One of the resplendently sartorial members of the NFL. He knows he's on camera. You always were a showboat, Roy. That's why Pittsburgh traded you to Baltimore. That's right. And then Baltimore traded you here.
You're pretty safe up here, Howard.
Especially since I've been doing your heavy work lately, Howard.
Second down and 4. Ball at the 40. Adamley hit quickly there by Dyron Talbert, is going all the way. His first action after knee surgery back in January.
He's getting work that he needs. 77, of course, Big Bill Brundage. He goes back to Mr. Lombardi's era. When he first came up, he was an excellent pass rusher, but it was deficient in defending the run. Now he can do it all. Standout ball play.
Third down and 3. The ball just short of the Redskins' 39-yard line. Barkham out to the left. Eddie Bell out to the right. Back into the lineup is Gresham. Number 36. He's in there with Adamley.
Come on, Pat.
Reagan started. He pulled a muscle. We won't see him anymore tonight. Oh, and failing to hold on is Jerome Barkham. Well thrown ball.
That was right in there.
Oh, he put it right on the chest.
Right in
on the
there.
chest.
Washington gets another break.
And no one has knocked Namath down yet tonight.
No, they didn't get a break. That's the Jets' deficiency.
Fourth down, Greg Gant comes in. Jazz Jackson, we've been told, will not be back in the lineup for the Jets. He has a bruised kneecap. There's Larry Jones. He's the man that Gant will try to kick it away from. Or if I were Gant, that's what I would try and do. Stone is also back there, as is Frank Grant.
Straight up. Good kick.
Stone with the fair catch and then lets it go, hoping it'll go into the end zone, and that's what indeed it does. Cuts back, 39-yard punt. So the Redskins will take over again. Trotting onto the field, again, Randy Johnson. 9 years ago, he was a number 1 draft pick for Atlanta. Traded to the New York Giants, where he played a couple of years.
He's had trouble with every management he ever played for. Maybe Allen has settled him down.
A lot of physical problems, too. He is a tremendous passer, a great arm. On 1st and 10. Redskins moving from the 20. There's number 36, that's Ralph Nelson. Nelson, fired by George Allen. He keeps coming up with football players. Somebody told him about Nelson playing with the California Sun last year. Said you should have him. Centennial High School in Compton, California. Was going to go to college, but was injured in a car accident. Never got there. Just turned 21 years old.
Come on, Big O, let's go!
Second down and 5.
Run!
Nelson again. Nelson doing the work, gets 3. It'll be third down and 2. Billy Newsom in pursuit, makes the stop.
What did he make?
The thop. Nobody's perfect. 7:25 remaining in the third quarter. The Jets out in front of Washington, 21-14. At one point, they had a 14-0 lead. Attendance, considering what's been happening in Washington, very good tonight, 37,000. The last two crowds have been 17 and 15. On 3rd and 2. Bob Brunet over the right side, trying to get the first down. I don't believe he got there. Up there defensively, number 20, Dallas Howell.
Could be a touch short. It's going to be very close.
Yes, to make the line. Take a look at him. Please.
Fourth down, Mike Bragg is already on the field. Single safety, dropping back for the Jets is number 7, Eddie Bell. Randy Johnson has failed to move the Redskins in 2 attempts. He's unhappy. Little Eddie Bell. Been running back punts for the Jets in preseason, averaging 10 yards a pop. Bragg gets off a beauty. Bell with the fair catch at his own 27-yard line. Hustling down there, Frank Grant forcing the fair catch. A 43-yard punt. 10:28 remaining in the third quarter with the Jets out in front of the Redskins, 21-14. There's a Toyota dealer in Canada. Alec Cassell and Alex Karras watching the Washington Redskins and the New York Jets. Jets out in front, 21-14. Next to last preseason game for both ball clubs. Jets will open their season against Buffalo. First and 10. Jets moving from the 27-yard line. Namath going all the way thus far this evening. Eddie Bell wide open. And Eddie Bell at about 5'8". 9, figures he'll get out of bounds, but he has the first down before he does so.
Okay, Howard.
He's got them worried, Alex. Notice on that long bomb, they're drifting back to cover against Barkham and Castor, and then using a quick sideline pattern. He had Bell all alone.
Well, they're going crazy out trying to figure Joe out tonight. He is as good as I've seen him in a long, long time, and his knees look like they're healthy, and if he's healthy, the Jets will give it a run, I'll tell you that.
First and 10 at the 39, gain of 12. Adam Lee and Steve Davis, the setbacks. This is Steve Davis. Good move, Steve Davis. Hit there by Brad Dusick, number 59. Second down and 8. You know, September the 20th, Alex. America better sit back.
You know why? Because I didn't buy him his lunch today. You know why? Because I'm still not on the show, and you're not either, Frank.
Howard
Give
Cosell
out
Show,
standing
September the 20th.
invitations.
After this play, Howard, tell us who's going to be on it. It's second down and 8. Ball at the 41. Namath unleashes a bomb, and Mike Bass is back there all the way, covering Jerome Barker.
And the fans here think that was offensive interference, but no such call. You ask me a question, Giffer, I'll answer it.
Is it Pay Ray, Tyrone Power, and who else?
Well, that's your year. Wait a minute, one of the Jets is injured.
That's Robert Woods.
And he is very, very important to the Jets.
Offensive left tackle.
He's developed strongly this preseason period, and his nimble, quick feet, and that's what's made him effective, really. In answer to your question, Giffer, and you too, Alex, we'll have John Denver on. We'll have the cast of The Wiz, that sensational Tony Award-winning show, on. We will go live to the Grand Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada for Siegfried and Roy and that sensational act of the vanishing lions and tigers. We will go live via the satellite to London, England for a group known as the Bay City Rollers, who have captured the United Kingdom in a manner similar to the Beatles at a comparable stage of their career. Bob Wood going out of the game, Namath pacing. We will have Jimmy Connors debuting as a professional singer along with Paul Anka. Jimmy doing a song especially written for him by Paul. We'll have another surprise for our viewers, too. We think we've got a pretty good lineup, plus perhaps the greatest lady singer in the entire world, living over in Switzerland now, Miss Shirley Bassey.
She is sensational. I caught a feather one time that floated off her at the Empire Room at the Waldorf.
You still have it?
Here, I'll show you. Third down and 8. Woods is out. Gordy Brown is in at left tackle, number 79 for the Jets. Leland Glass is also in there as Adderley carries the ball over the right side, gets 4 yards. That'll bring up fourth down, and the Jet punting team. Ron McDowell made the tackle in pursuit.
That's a call the Jets like to make. Usually a quick draw, third down, long yardage, and apparent passing down. They've done that, well, just like the old Colts, as you said earlier in the telecast, Alex.
Oh, yeah. They know they're in front, and they know that Joe is in command of the game right now, and why take a chance? Let's punt it to them and then play a little defense.
That can change in a moment, though. These Redskins, although they missed Jefferson and Taylor tonight, no question about it.
You were looking at a man who could change it very quickly, number 21, Larry Jones. That time, the Redskins really went for the ball. And it takes a Washington bounce back to the 25-yard line where it's down. A 29-yard punt. Godwin Turk down there to kill the ball. 8:43 remaining in the third quarter. We'll be back in just a moment.
Over there at the diminutive Charlie Winner with Joe Willie Namath. Incidentally, I mentioned Jimmy Connors being on with us on September 20th. Our congratulations to the new U.S. Tennis Open champion, Jimmy's conqueror today, Manuel Orantes, and of course, belatedly to Chrissy Evert in the women's division.
First and 10 for the Redskins. Randy Johnson, the quarterback, moving from his own 26. It's complete to Alvin Reed, the tight end. Out to the 42-yard line. A gain of 16. Hit there by Roscoe Word. Alvin Reed came from Houston back in 1973 for a draft pick. Usually in there for blocking along with tight end Jerry Smith or when Jerry's not feeling well, which is rather frequent.
George has made some very good trades with Houston. We talked about the Kenny Houston trade earlier. He gave up 5 players who never got anywhere after they left here for Kenny Houston, who was a super player.
Come on, Big O!
First down from the 42-yard line, and this is Ralph Nelson. It's out to the 45. Gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Hit there by Steve Reese, who's in there at middle linebacker. Steve Reese, he was a free agent. Last year he was cut from Birmingham of the WFL, showed up. The Jets liked him. He was actually trying to make it as a guard with Birmingham. The Jets thought they'd take a look at Reese as a linebacker. He looks good. He's in there now, replacing Jamie Rivers. Second down and 8. Ball just at the 45-yard line. Bob Brunet gets the call, and he runs right into Richard Neal, number 81. Third down now. Randy Johnson will be putting it in the air. 6'3", 205 pounds is Randy Johnson. In preseason, as I mentioned, he's 24 of 32. Out to the left is Frank Grant, picked up there by Word. Over the middle, complete again to Alvin Reed, and yardage for the first down to the 42.
Randy Johnson sure has a nice arm. He just whips it right in the middle there.
He's always had talent. His problems have been in a different vein, as I've indicated. He's always had management problems.
Well, it looks like he gets back and sets up pretty fast.
He's had a lot of injury problems also.
Watch that quick whip of the arm. Zip. That's pretty good. Zip.
And Alvin Reed comes up with another first down catch.
Well, he's got them going now.
43-yard line of the Jets. Play action fake by Johnson. Wants the bomb. Will overthrow Larry Jones.
Well, he was double covered, Frank. Even Larry, with his speed, had little chance there.
Back there, Dallas Howell, number 20. Burgess Owens, 22.
Dallas Howell is another one of the ex-New Orleans players that the Jets have. Richard Neal is one, and at one time, as indicated, Bob Gresham was one. Dallas Howell is a solid football player who this year has been a continuing ankle injury problem, and the Jets are deeply concerned about it. That's why he didn't start tonight.
All right, second down and 10. Nelson gets the call. He moves to the 40-yard line, gains a couple. Randy will have himself back in a passing position. Third down and 8. The ball resting just at the 40.
Frank and I was passing the Washington Redskins dressing room earlier today, and we smelled this analgesic bomb that was coming from the dressing room, which means that there's an awful lot of old-timers down there. They got to really put on a lot of heat to get their bodies moving.
We used to call it really grease it up.
Let's see if Johnson can convert this third down situation. He's been very successful on this drive.
Alvin Reed is the top of your screen. He's been using Reed. He goes to him again and gets the first down. At the 27.
Just as you called it, wouldn't you think by now that Jets secondary would be alert to that? I think Winter's got a lot of work ahead of him with that secondary.
Reed now, 3 receptions, 44 yards. The quarterback that we have not seen tonight for the Washington Redskins is Joe Theismann. We understand that quite possibly we will see him, great Notre Dame player that he was, in the fourth period. But right now, Randy Johnson is moving the Redskins. They trail New York 21-14. Looking for Grant. Grant is open, but he's overthrown. Covered by Ward.
And you know, I was kidding about the oldness of the Washington Redskins a little while ago. I respect them, and here's the reason why I expect them. The Jets jump way out in front by 2 touchdowns, and a young ball club sometimes would get very alarmed about this, start throwing the ball all over the lot. Not the Washington Redskins. They're an older ball club. They kept their composure, and they're still in the ball game, 21-14.
Incidentally, Billy Kilmer, while he was in there, failed to convert on 6 third-down chances. Johnson has converted on 2 out of 3. Johnson was intercepted on his very first pitch by Ebersol out of Penn State, but the Jets failed to capitalize. Barkin dropped the pass.
Second and 10 for the 27. This is Nelson in a big hole, and Nelson gets another first down. Down to the 16-yard line. Clock moving. 4:30 remaining in the third quarter. New York out in front of Washington, 21-14. Keep in mind, in preseason play, there will be a sudden death. 1 quarter.
Gonna hand it to Johnson. He's moving this club very well. Look at Alvin Reed blocking.
Gets Richard Wood and doing a fine job against the former USC linebacker. Redskins at the 16 of the Jets. And this is Brunet. And Brunet goes down.
Richard Wood, out of your alma mater, a rookie, and he was a great linebacker with USC, Frank. Is a great athlete, but he is light, about 213. You got to play him on the weak side because he can't defense the run that strongly. He can, of course. He's got good speed. Stay with anybody on the drop back. He can even go deep defensing the pass.
Actually, he's same size as Chris Hamburger, who's played 11 years with the Redskins, several of them all pro. Play action fake, and Randy Johnson in trouble, gets out, tries to go to Nelson, who is well covered by Richard Wood in the end zone.
That's what I meant, Frank. He can get back there.
Jim Bailey, number 76, playing a good game for the Jets, was pressuring Randy Johnson. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. Redskins acting very much like it's against them. And here's the walk-off. Holding. 10 yards against number 76 of the Washington Redskins, and that would be the new man acquired from the Rams, Tim Stokes. And an interesting way the Redskins acquired Stokes, they gave up their third and fourth pick in 78 and 79, and picked up, well, I'll need more time to get to it. On second down and 10. You're not going to believe it. Frank Grant close to another first down. Hit there by Phil Wise and John Ebersol, a gain of 16.
Well, I would not say that Mr. Wise is scintillated tonight. Again, I'd point out that the Jets secondary has been porous.
Heading back to Tim Stokes, the Redskins gave 4 picks in 78 and 79. They got Stokes and 2 picks in 76. And they wouldn't tell me what they were.
How do they bookkeep those choices?
You have to be a little careful with Washington again. They sometimes get confused and trade something they don't quite have.
That's what Mr. Allen has been known to do, is you glance at the grim face there.
Third down and 2. Nelson, he's got a hole. Oh, and he's got the 6.
That is great running right there.
Ralph Nelson, 6'2", 195 pounds, didn't play in college. And he's playing back to the performance that we saw in Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame game. George Allen has 2 fine young running backs. Mike Thomas in the first half, a 5th-round draft pick, and this youngster, Ralph Nelson, from Centennial High School in Compton, California.
Well, you have to say that Mr. Randy Johnson engineered that drive beautifully, going several times to the big tight end, Alvin Reed, in the clutch, and then Frank Graham, another great clutch catch.
Mark Mosley will attempt to tie up the game at 21.
This is the most exciting play of football right here, Frank. I love these.
That was the thrill for Mosley and his family. There it is, 21 apiece with 2:24 remaining in the third quarter. Good football game for the nation's capital tonight, where we'll return right after this message.
You know, we like this
Hall of Fame game without college experience.
That block, too, was by Bob Brunet, and it was a crusher.
He's a happy young man. Sitting back comfortably, he's made the team.
From the end zone, Mosley hits a beauty. Gresham, in his own end zone, will run it out. And a fine run back out to the 25-yard line, a return of 27 yards by Gresham.
Really was. He was momentarily hit at the 17 and
Look at your harem, Howard.
Additional yards. They belong to the Giffer.
Yeah.
They shrieked when he was
Boy,
on
I'll
the
tell
field.
you, they have really gotten, cheerleaders are really getting a lot younger than they used to be. When we broke in, they were 45 years old, weren't they, Frank?
Alex, that's not what's happening. I'll tell you about it after the game. First and 10. Joe Namath going all the way. Doing a superb job. He's had a few drops. He's hit on a 57-yard bomb for Rich Castor in the first quarter. Here comes Steve Davis. Davis in a whole bunch of trouble. Attracts a lot of Redskins, and down he goes. Darren Talbert leading the way.
The Jets' problem is they've had no ground game to complement Joe and his passing since John Riggins went out with a groin pull. Little Adamley is a little bit slithery, but he doesn't get sufficient yardage. And Gresham by himself can't do it either.
Loss of a yard by Davis. Second down and 11.
Davis, he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Markham to the right. 83. Eddie Bell, 7 to the left. Namath. Under pressure, still gets it off quickly to Barkham, but under pressure, Namath threw behind Barkham. Bill Brundage was the man in there for the Redskins. Number 77.
Very quickly, the Jets are in trouble.
You know, it's hard to tell, but I'm sure that George Allen is pleased with the fact that Darren Talbert is going so much tonight. Number 72, 9-year veteran out of Texas. He's not only a good football player, he's kind of an inspirational leader of this team.
Here he comes off now.
Now he's coming out.
He looks like he's running good.
And running well. He's all right. Third down and 11. Namath. Puts Barkham again out to the right. Bell out to the left. Tight end Castor. Right at the top of your screen. He's 88. Looking for Castor. He has the first down. Beautifully thrown. And Castor, finding that open hole, is out to the 40.
And that gets Joe out of the hole.
And, of course, Joe's no dummy. He likes to keep it back in there to block for him, and that time he kept Adamley. I don't know if Adamley can block that well, but he kept it back
For
in.
his size, he's a good blocker. Some of these little guys are excellent blockers. Mac Heron of New England.
You saw that beautifully. Castor working right between Hamburger 55 and Tillman 67.
I remember one Heron threw on Brad Van Pelt of the Giants a year ago. Twice his size had to be seen to be believed. He left Van Pelt in the stands.
1st and 10. The ball is at the 40. Jets moving. And Joe Willie goes down. Daron Talbot. And that is why the roar goes up. That's the first time he's been sacked. Daron Talbot, who had knee surgery off-season, was in there along with 86 Verlin Biggs.
Don't mention Verlin Biggs to Joe Willie Namath. Joe's ex-teammate. 1972, the Redskins came in to play the Jets. The Redskins won it 35-17, the only time the two teams have met previously. And Verlin Biggs chewed up Joe and the Jets that day. A former Jet teammate of Verlin's had knocked Verlin on the air. Verlin saw the show, got fired up.
This is what you can do when you have a Rich Castor. He's the top of your screen like a wide receiver. Namath calls the draw play. As a flag goes down, Adamley twists around for about 3 yards. Illegal motion against the Jets.
They should refuse it.
Joe's limping.
Yep. He's trying to loosen it up.
I don't know. They pay.
Here comes J.J. Jones right now.
Joe Namath was limping a little bit. He looked to the sidelines and bounced around a little bit, and all of a sudden, he's out of the ball game. A good night. J.J. Jones comes in, number 11. And there he is.
He is a great ball player. There's no question about it, Howard. The only thing I question is whether the man is worth $450,000 or not. I know he draws a big crowd, but if he gets injured, that's it.
Look at it. Looks like the knee again.
Well, it could be the brace on the knee. He wears metal braces on both knees. 3rd down and 16. Nice spot to come into with a cold arm for J.J. Jones. And the attempt to Eddie Bell. Brad Dusick was back there, along with Pat Fisher, defending. Clock stopped with 6 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Greg Gant comes on. I think he might have more of a problem with the brace. That's metal right under that cushioning, and sometimes it can get twisted up. At least, let's hope so. Greg Gant on to punt for the Jets. Larry Jones is deep. Boy, look at that plumbing.
You have to wonder how Namath does it.
I don't know how he does it. What courage that guy must have.
Well, Alex, we talked about players getting so much money. You say they lose incentive.
There's a classic case of a punter kicking a bad kick. He dropped that ball. Maybe we can get a replay, but you'll see him drop that ball almost on us in. That's the gun. You've been watching another exclusive of ABC Sports, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score, New York 21, Washington 21. We'll return after this word from our stations. In any event, Joe Namath had a good night, and we're glad it is not the knee. 1st and 10, Washington. Moves from the 39-yard line. Randy Johnson, a screen pass to Frank Grant. Good blocking out in front. He cut back inside and probably lost what additional yardage that he might have picked up had he stayed with his blockers. Ed Gallagher made the stop.
The man working on Joe Namath is Dr. James Nicholas, one of America's leading orthopedic surgeons. He's the man who's performed the many operations on Joe's knees. There he is.
There's your idol.
There he is, America.
4 knee operations. Played 10 years. 7 of those have been what you could call complete seasons.
Yeah.
This is Nelson. In the corner, gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Hit there by Gallagher. Danny Abramowitz is in the ballgame, number 48, acquired from San Francisco. He's the 5th leading receiver active today in the National Football League. Redskins have 4 out of the top 5. Third quarter statistics.
Very close, as you can see. A slight edge to the Jets. But the Jets' rushing game died with the egress of John Riggins. Washington hasn't been prepossessing in that regard either.
Second down and 8. Johnson dumps it off to Nelson. And Nelson took quite a shot. Ooh, Clippers flare just a little bit. That's Tim Stokes, the newly acquired Redskin.
Number 85, Ed Gallagher, gave him a little shot back.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't mess with Gallagher. He's one of the toughest cookies in the league. He really is. Don't forget, it's Frazier against Ali at the end of the month.
Personal foul against the Jets.
Well, Washington has all the momentum now, all the edge. Namath out of the game. Riggins out of the game. But the Redskins have played this one without Jefferson and Taylor. And the Redskins have proved that they've got a beauty of a backup quarterback in Randy Johnson.
He sure looks impressive, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you that George Allen puts together a team. With all of the talk and the writing and the criticism, the man is a coach. And an excellent one.
Personal foul goes against Ed Gallagher. First down, Redskins. They're on the 30-yard line of the Jets. This game all tied up, 21-21. Nelson gets 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8. Richard Neal there to make the stop.
You have to be
in spot.
Giff, you have to be enormously impressed with the play of Frank Grant tonight. You wonder how much they really miss, even a Roy Jefferson when Grant's in there.
I don't.
Well, the second half, you know, that front four.
Not a Jefferson, or is he a Charlie Taylor?
And let's face it.
Not a Taylor, but
excuse me. I'm sorry.
Second down and 8. From the 28, Randy Johnson back. Finds the open man. That's number 81, Marv Fleming, the possessor of 5 Super Bowl rings.
Wouldn't you think by this time, this is a reminder of the first Jets-Miami game a year ago when the Jets had no defense at all in the secondary for the whole first half. Wouldn't you think that by now the Jets would know how Johnson uses the tight end? Marv Fleming caught about 2 passes a year for the Dolphins. He's the guy who has more Super Bowl rings than any other player, 5 of them. He leaves his West Coast home, goes to training camp, and leaves a phone message. You can pick me up at the Super Bowl, wherever it is.
We'll get to you in a moment, Alex. I know you have something brilliant to say. It's a Nelson, and he's inside the 5. It'll be second down from the 4.
It wasn't that good, Frank. Forget it. Now, I was going to say that the front 4 of the Jets really haven't been coming on the second half like they did the first half. There's the pass rush is not there, and they look a little porous right now as far as the run's concerned.
Another thing, too, they've been using young linebackers, Steve Reese, Richard Wood, and they are not holding up the Redskins tight end. We've seen in 2 or 3 replays where they just give him a little tap, and you can't let a tight end come off the line of scrimmage like that. Second down and 4. Nelson gets the call. He gets to the 2, maybe closer to the 1. Nelson, very impressive and very important for the Washington Redskins, who had no running game to speak of last year. 23rd in the National Football League, made up of 26 teams. Larry Brown is still questionable, has not played at all in preseason.
But you made a fine point in noting that the Jets linebackers are not holding up the tight end.
Third down. Randy Johnson looking for the go-ahead score. Done a fine job in relief of Billy Kilmer. Nelson is open, and good coverage. Good recoverage there by Phil Wise. Play action fake. Had him open for a second, and then Phil Wise recovered. Well, he's a fine athlete, Phil Wise. He's had a lot of troubles on and off with muscle pulls, but nevertheless, he is an excellent athlete. And watch Randy Johnson, puts it right in there to Bob Brunet. There's Wise. He let him go by, but was able to recover. Knock it away, almost get the interception. Mark Mosley for the field goal. It'll be a 19-yard attempt. And Washington moves closer. Up in front, 24-21. We'll be back in Washington in just a moment.
Howard, we just got this from the field. This is official. Namath told Dr. Nicholas that when he saw Talbot coming, he tensed his left leg, thereby self-inflicting the cramp upon himself. That's what he said.
In any event, it's not the knee, and that's what we were concerned about.
He shouldn't tense himself like that.
Mark Mosley booting away. It'll be taken by Ralph Nelson. Nelson bursting right up the middle, over the 30 to the 31. 21-yard return.
All right, Frank, here comes J.J. Jones.
J.J. Jones has been something kind of special. He said at the top of the show he came in as a free agent from Fisk last year, did good in preseason, separated his shoulder, didn't see any action all year long. But Al Woodall and Namath have both been hurt during preseason. Has been J.J. Jones. 53%, 3 touchdowns, won last week's game against Atlanta. Touchdown pass to Barkham. The Jets winning that one 16-13. Number 11, he's in there now. J.J. Jones. Hands off to Davis. Kenny Houston comes up from the safety spot and inflicts a 5-yard loss on Davis. Well, now they'll say his motion was stopped at the 27-yard line, a loss of 4. Don't forget, tomorrow night, NCAA college football. Alabama goes against Missouri. And ABC cameras will be there. That will be a beauty. Alabama, of course, always with the powerhouse. Missouri rated right up there in the Big 8 Conference, where they tied for second last year. Second down and 14. Ball at the 27. Jones goes down. Bill Brundage and Ron McDole in there. Brundage 77, McDole 79.
The Redskins are now just chewing them up. The offensive line is doing little, if anything, in there.
Credit that sack to just fine defensive coverage back there by Bass and Owens and Pat Fisher, Kenny Houston. Jones had no place to put it.
Well, you know, when you get a Namath out of there, we talked about it earlier in the show. That's what the Redskins wanted to see. They wanted to see Namath get out of there, and they got a real shot now. As far as psychological, as far as that offensive line for the Jets are concerned, they got J.J. instead of Joey back there. There's a difference.
24-23, Washington leads. At one point, the Jets led 14-0. Jones going again.
Somebody
almost out of the stadium, intended for Eddie Bell. Again, he felt the pressure and good defensive coverage. Kenny Houston and Mike Bass both back there. Houston 27, Bass 41. This is Ralph Nelson.
Where did he get hurt? Well, where is that? Upper thigh.
Upper thigh,
yeah,
probably a pull. He's gained 55 yards tonight on 11 attempts, and you can see how unhappy he is. He has a great shot at not only making this team, but opening for them. Here's Gant. Larry Jones is the single safety. The speedster from Northeast Missouri State. Beautiful punt by Gant. Jones from his own 32. Good coverage also. And Jones, with a lot of traveling, gains 2 yards. 47-yard punt by Greg Gant. 9:01 remaining in the fourth quarter from RFK Stadium in Washington. We'll return in just a moment.
The Gillette Tractor.
Randy Johnson is quarterbacking now in relief of Billy Kilmer for the Redskins. J.J. Jones is quarterbacking for the Jets. Namath with a cramp in his, right behind his leg, his knee rather. Whoa, goodbye. And Dallas Howell is going to get 6.
He was looking for that, Frank Grant. He read that perfectly.
I can't believe that, Frank. That's a hog play as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's a bad call. Sooner or later you get stuck up with that junk
That
stuff.
was a dumb call. I don't understand. I'm sorry, Frank. I believe it.
New York. But Dallas Howell takes a pass away from Randy Johnson and takes it in for the score.
What were they going to gain on that? 2 yards for crying out loud on that
He remembers using that with the Giants. That's the Giants kind of passing attack. Gift the junk stuff.
That's ugly, Howard.
No. The Giants, not this year under Arnsparker, but that's what they used to do.
Pat Leahy makes it 28-24. And Dallas Howell, it's a lot of congratulations. He came up here from New Orleans with Richard Neal, and they have been big players for the Jets. 37-yard touchdown. And New York out in front of Washington, 28-24. We'll be back.
Well, Jazz Jackson on the sideline with a water bottle. Dallas Howell's ankle seemed all right on that pickoff and run in for the touchdown.
Pat Leahy kicks off for the Jets. Deep is Larry Jones, and really deep in the end zone. And he'll stay there for the touchback. And let's go back and look at Danny Abramowitz, bottom of your screen. A little short square out. Randy Johnson, almost like he didn't see Dallas Howell. Down the sidelines, 37 yards for a giveaway touchdown.
It was. I have to agree with Alex 100%. Not seen any, but there's John Ebersol moving over, too.
Well, there's no percentage in that. All they're going to do is, if they complete it, it's going to go for about 2 yards. And if it's intercepted, there's no one out there to help. He goes all the way.
First and 10. Randy Johnson still there. Mike Thomas gets the call, gets out close to the 25-yard line. He's in there because Ralph Nelson has a pulled muscle. We saw him on the sidelines a moment ago with an ice bag.
A middle linebacker's got to be a very tough guy, and once in a while he has to be able to receive.
That was Bob Brunet again with another fine block.
Yeah, that middle linebacker used to be 6'6", too. He's down to 5'10 and a half.
Second down and 6. Ball at the 24.
That's a beautiful
Mike Thomas. Out of bounds. Out to the 26-yard line. Taken out of bounds there by Roscoe Word.
Well, another third down situation for Randy, who's had that one miscue tonight that at the moment appears to be so costly. But he has been very, very effective on third down conversion attempts. Let's see if he uses the tight end again, Giffer.
All right. That would be number 81, Marv Fleming. And you saw the turnovers. That has been a big part of the Redskins' success for the last 4 years. They usually get more turnovers than their opponents. And this time it went for Jones and in and out of the hands of Richard Wood, the rookie linebacker from USC. Wood is almost like a halfback. He does a 4.8 40. The only three-time All-American USC's ever had.
How many times were you All-American, Frank?
About a half. I didn't make all the polls. Eddie Bell.
You should have.
Dropping back to single safety.
This is the year Frank Gifford is inducted into College Football Hall of Fame.
That is nice, isn't it? You're going to come to the dinner, I hope, Howard.
I'll be there.
I'll come to your opening, the 20th.
I'm going to usher it.
That's going to be a crowded opening. Oh, and it's blocked. Mike Bragg's punt is blocked by Godwin Turk.
Frank, I think it's Richard Wood. Please forgive me.
Godwin Turk, number 56, and he's delighted.
You're right. He is a spectacular prospect.
He is a tough one. Remember him, Howard, last year? He was outstanding in preseason, then he was hurt. And this year he's really come on. Now, this is the 6th turnover for the Redskins. They don't do that.
There's Richard Wood.
All right. New York with a 28-24 lead has the ball. First and goal at the 8-yard line of the Redskins. Run the play out. Bob Gresham turning the corner and driving in. There's an offside.
Everybody quit on the play.
Against Washington. You don't want to quit on an offside. I did not hear a whistle. Offsides ruled against the Jets. They relaxed. What chaos? Got a touchdown or offsides against the Redskins. They relaxed, and New York gets a cheap touchdown.
What a turn in this game.
Absolutely. One little play like that, and
Redskins, this time the Redskins made the clutch. The way it turns out, the Redskins made the clutch mistakes.
they look like Mickey Mouse right now. They look ridiculous. Just one little play, one little mental mistake.
34-24, and Pat Leahy's on again. Getting a little exercise tonight. He's had a good year with field goals. No attempts tonight, but he's 6 of 8. 1 for 47 yards out. And he chips it through to extend New York's lead to 35-24. Look at it again. And Bob Gresham, who's had a great preseason for the Jets, roars in. And you can imagine the offense the Jets are going to have on the ground when Riggins gets his act pulled together. He has a slight pull and a bruised knee. These two together are going to be tough.
Plus Emerson Boozer.
Emerson, how long do they anticipate Emerson will be out?
He'll be out at least 2 more weeks.
Oh, he can grow another arm by then, Howard. There's no problem with Emerson.
And, of course, a good word, I guess, on David Knight, their splendid wide receiver for the Jets.
They need him.
They say he'll be back from knee surgery sometime in October.
Rick Owens has a little slight fracture of his pinky toe on his right side. It's a little pinky toe. He's going to get it x-rayed and put it into a big cast.
This is Jones. Flag goes down. Jones out to the 29-yard line. Tried to do a little hurdling act there. It's a good way to get 6 weeks off. Clipping goes against Washington.
It's a rare thing the fans are seeing. Washington in control of the ball game, opportunistic all the way. Suddenly, the bad call by Randy Johnson, the interception by Howell, and then after that, a block kick. And you rarely ever see that against a George Allen team. Much out of character.
Alex was mentioning Burgess Owens. He has an injury to his little toe. Crack is suspected, and there's the intense face of George Allen. Never had a losing season as a head coach. On 1st and 10, Randy Johnson still a quarterback. Oh, and he gets rippled.
Big Jim Bailey
is there.
76.
6'6", 255. He came from Baltimore also. He was a starter for Baltimore. Their 2nd-round pick back in 1970. Jets gave away a 4th pick to get him. Hit Randy so hard it hurt his neck. 7:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. New York 35, Washington 24. Charlie Winter has to be happy with some of the showings that he's observed tonight.
There's the glorious general.
Johnson in his own end zone, again in trouble. Gets it off this time to number 22, Mike Thomas, as a flag goes down. Back in the end zone. Phil Wise stopped Thomas as he got back to the original line of scrimmage. Holding Washington. Now that was dangerously close to being in the end zone, which would have been an additional 2 points.
Isn't that a ridiculous statistic?
That's why they pay Joe so much, I guess, huh?
Losing 3 yards in the quarter, the Jets have surged ahead.
They're killing them.
George Stark was holding for Washington. 2nd down, a whole bunch, 21 to be specific. And Randy Johnson will have to be operating from his end zone if he decides to put the ball in the air. Larry Jones all alone. And it's complete out to the 27-yard line. Little Larry Jones beating Roscoe Word. Jets coming with a full blitz, looking for Randy Johnson in the end zone, and he very coolly fired to Larry Jones. That's good enough for a 1st down. Now we're having quite a discussion over there.
He tells me to get a win. I asked him. I just said he didn't come over.
Boy, they arguing. They're going to have a penalty, too. against the Jets. An action that we did not see. But it could have been a little delayed blow against Larry Jones as he went out of bounds. We've been told it's Roscoe Word, the guilty one for the New York Jets. Washington with Randy Johnson directing the attack. Is coming back. Johnson. And incomplete to Bob Brunet. Randy Johnson firing to his setback, coming out of the backfield. But Brunet, who's done a fine job of blocking tonight, cannot hold on. Good man to have around on a 43-man roster because he's a runner, a blocker, good on special teams.
I tell you, regardless of that one terrible call, Alex, you've got to like the way Johnson throws the football and can move a team.
He looks terrific, and then all of a sudden he comes up with that kind of a play. You know, just really threw him all off.
Second down and 10. Washington from their own 42. Mike Thomas, and he burst through down to the 42-yard line. Another first down. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports right now. And let's pause 5 seconds and let our friends and local stations along the line identify themselves.
WABC TV New York.
First down for the Washington Redskins. They're at the 46-yard line of the New York Jets. The New York Jets leading the Washington Redskins 35-24 in a seesaw game from the very beginning. Johnson firing and almost picked off. Almost picked off by Word.
Roscoe Word had that one read.
The attempt to Danny Abramowitz.
We are at midnight. This has been a long game because so much of the action has been in the air.
Billy Kilmer, he went the first half for the Redskins. Had a good night. Relaxing a little bit. Doesn't have Sonny Jurgensen around. Sonny Jurgensen, of course, a very good friend and a pal of Billy's, but there's always a question with that other great quarterback on the bench. If I do something wrong, I'll be out of here. Billy 6 for 12 for the night, 120 yards, 1 TD. On second down, Brunet gets the call. It's maybe 3 yards. It'll be third down and 7. Ed Gallagher in there for the New York Jets. Inside 6 minutes now. Jamie Rivers comes back into the lineup to give the Jets 4 linebackers. Out goes Ed Gallagher. All right, the ball at the 44. Johnson on the quick count. Firing and is complete to Danny Abramowitz. He's inside the 25. Tackled there by Roscoe Word.
You look at the yardage Washington is chewing up, grinding out, passing out in this fourth quarter with the Jets having lost 3 yards. It's almost unbelievable that the Redskins trailed 35-24.
Well, you know, during the season, at least, that the Washington Redskins has a good backup quarterback, and that's the problem with the Jets. What kind of a backup quarterback do they have? They're questionable. How can they be contenders if Namath's knee is going to continue to do what he does?
I don't disagree with you at all. I also think they have to strengthen their secondary.
First and 10. And good play action fake by Randy Johnson. Larry Jones has the ball. He'll score.
No tackle at all by Word. The man completely free. They've been absolutely porous.
Great play action on the part of Randy Johnson. Throws the linebackers. Jones found the open spot. And we have quite a scoring football game. A lot of offense. And this young man is heading towards superstardom. Larry Jones, he can do it all.
They went 85 yards under Randy Johnson then in 9 plays. They were in deep trouble back near their own goal line. The whole thing took 2 minutes and 55 seconds, and they're alive in the ballgame.
Mark Mosley. It's good. So New York's lead is cut to 4. The Jets over the Redskins with 4:46 remaining in the game. 35-31. We'll be back. Elusive little man is Larry Jones. There he is. Okay, 1st and 10 for the Jets. The quarterback is J.J. Jones. It has been since Joe Namath retired with a cramp in his leg. Setbacks, 35 Davis. Adam Lee 1. This is Davis. Kenny Houston makes a stop coming up from safety.
Well, they'll hope to use up time with the ground game, but they haven't been able to do anything since Riggins went out in that frame of reference.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Don't forget tomorrow night, Alabama and Missouri, right here on ABC.
Watch for the Big Bears hat.
Next Monday, a week from tomorrow night, Boston College and Notre Dame. And then the following Monday, Oakland and Miami as we kick off our pro football season from Miami. Mike Adamle, big hole, look at him go. Over the 45 to the 46. Hit there by Brad Dusick and dropped.
That was an important play for the Jets. They can keep chewing up that clock. We're down to 3:42 and counting.
First down is marked at the 47-yard line. J.J. Jones, quarterbacking, 6'1", 180 pounds. As the tight end now, Willie Brister, number 86. Steve Davis. This time he is popped to the line of scrimmage. Big number 65, Dave Butts, 6'7". They can't quite weigh him because he goes over the 300 mark. Great All-American out of Purdue. Number 1 draft pick of the Cards. Played out his option. The Redskins signed him. Compensation has escalated or inflated somewhat. Redskins gave him a whole bunch. First picks in 77, 78, a second pick in 79. He's in there now, number 65. 2nd down and 9. The ball at the 49. Davis. And Davis gets 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3. At the 46-yard line of the Redskins. Danny Sistrunk in pursuit made the stop. Clock ticking away, getting near the 2-minute warning. Now Ron McDole comes back in. We'll probably see Butts come out. No. We're just going into the short yardage defense, and out comes Brian Salter. There's the 2-minute warning. J.J. Jones goes over to visit with Charlie Winter. We'll return to Washington in just a moment. Down and 3 for the New York Jets. They lead the Washington Redskins 35-31. 2 minutes remaining in the game from Washington. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell. Spanky Karras. Dozing off a little bit on us. Had a late night last night in Minnesota.
Another big play.
Short yardage. We would suspect that J.J. Jones should be thinking about a pass. It'll be tough to get it on the ground.
Call. He got that from the coach.
Mike Adamle nailed at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you have to wonder.
And the Jets will have to bring out their punting team on 4th down.
Now let's see if Allen's group can block the kick. We had him opening Monday night in Minnesota in 72, Frank, remember? And they won a game when Malinchak blocked a kick. We were just back from Munich.
That's right. That's right. You are a Univac.
They have a way of doing these things, the Redskins.
All right, this is Gant. Redskins, the one safety man, Larry Jones. And the penalty flags fall as the Redskins shot it all. And Reisig, number 51, in there attempting to block the kick.
Yeah, that was not intelligent either.
Powdered Gant. You know, the way you block a kick is to go about 3 or 4 yards in front of the kicker, not right at the kicker. And I don't know why we keep saying that. I don't know whether it's poor coaching or what. You don't go at the kicker because you wouldn't get it even if, see, he had no way to block that. You go about 3 yards in front of the kicker.
So the Jets have a first down, and now even with Washington timeouts remaining, they should be able to chew the thing up.
1:48 remaining. It'll be first down for the Jets. And an additional 5 yards. That puts them on the Redskins' 40-yard line. In a good game offensively. Jets got out to a 14-0 lead. The Redskins came back with Billy Kilmer. They took the lead. And the Jets came back. Dallas Howell sparking it with a 37-yard interception of a Randy Johnson pass for a touchdown. This is Davis over the right side. And Davis breaking tackles, covering a lot of yardage to pick up 5.
He's looking much better now than he did earlier in the game.
Redskins stop the clock with one of their timeouts. They have 2 remaining. Charlie Winter looks on. J.J. Jones moves over.
You know, we've seen some of the ball clubs in the preseason games. I still have to go with the teams with the great depths, like Oakland and Los Angeles. Of course, Minnesota looks good to me. They got 3-4 good backs running now. And I think that, you know, it's going to be that team that can survive those kind of injuries.
Yeah, and it's tougher this year, too, Alex, with only 43 players.
Oh, yeah.
Cut from 47 of last year.
I still think when they play the regular season, the Redskins will be up there. They're a solid team. And so is St. Louis. They're a better team than they're given credit for being.
They're not bad. Nice little group. A couple of waivers in there, but most of them pretty good picks.
I thought you were talking about the Cardinals.
Oh. I was watching my monitor. Oh. Second down and 5.
Oh, that's
Ball at the 35. Producer Don Olmeyer said that's the switch. Adamley. And Adamley in a whole bunch of trouble with Manny Sistrom. He collects a few of his friends. Loss of 4 yards.
That's another timeout for the Redskins.
They're down to 1. They can stop the clock once more. It's third down. They'll get possession of the ball. They will have maybe one timeout. They'll probably keep that one. Third down coming up for the Jets. They've looked at quite a few players tonight, but although really they've gone pretty much with their veterans. Brian Salter comes in for the Redskins. He's number 30. Will be back there with the 4 regular defensive backs. Mike Bass, Brig Owens, Ken Houston, Pat Fisher. Out comes Ron McDowell. Dave Butts stays in there. Bob Gresham back in the backfield now for the Jets. The 36. 3rd and 14. Gresham on the draw play. He won't get to 14. He gets about half of it. And it'll be 4th down for the Jets. Clock ticking away. Washington going to conserve that one timeout for their offensive unit. The Jets could just go ahead and let all their time expire. Their 30 seconds that they're allowed.
Only 50 seconds left to play, Giffer. They'll take a penalty here and then kick. Well, apparently they won't.
No, I'm pretty sure they will. Referee's stepping into it right now.
Took a long time.
35 seconds remaining. The Redskins have one timeout remaining when they get possession.
Well, George Allen did go with his veteran defense tonight, and during the season you can be sure they'll hold up. They're good. He does have hope for the running game. How much remains to be seen. Roger Nelson looked very good tonight. Mike Thomas looked pretty good. But they can't replace Larry Brown. The Jets have to be disturbed, it seems to me, about their defensive secondary tonight. They are a different team, clearly, with Namath in there. They've got to get still another backup quarterback.
35 seconds. Gant will put it in the air. Larry Jones is deep. Redskins obviously are going to try to block it. And they came close. Jones from his own 6. Out to the 10-yard line.
And Jones was really belted. Godwin Turk again down there. Godwin Turk has been playing fine football tonight. He's a tough-looking cookie.
And this Sal's upset.
Sensational-looking young linebacker. He's of a piece with Blair and McNeil of Minnesota.
You know, you mentioned a moment ago the Redskins, you have a feeling they'll be there, Howard. They were there last year. They didn't have any running to speak of. Yeah, they were number 1 in the entire NFL in passing. That's understandable with Jurgensen and Kilmer and 3 of the top 5 receivers in pro football, as they did last year. Larry Brown only had 240 yards last year rushing. So they somehow get it done, and they generally get it done through turnovers, great defensive play. They don't make mistakes. They only had 6 interceptions last year. Andy Johnson, Ebersol almost had another interception. 21 seconds. Clock stopped with the incompletion.